Fantastic. Awesome. Welcome back to another Live Lifts Friday Night Lights. We love Friday Night Lights. Let's get into it. Let's attack the bar as we do. And then we'll do the intro. Welcome to another Live Lifts. Lung buster. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. James. Welcome to Live Lifts, where we lift and we learn, put the science into strength, and we work hard, pushing it every session. So, welcome back to all the casual viewers. Welcome to the subscribers. Welcome to the new subs. Hello. What are we doing today? Friday Night Lights. So this is where we lift on Friday, where it's anything but light. It's really, really heavy. However, the last two sessions we've done, we didn't do a deload. I don't believe in deload, but we did some lighter day squats, and then we did some tire flip in the last session. Really nice, succinct, compact session. Beautiful. If you haven't caught that stream, it is out. We have taken a step back from doing heavy squats. We did them last week or the week before. So we are slightly lighter, but we're doing more functional stuff. So we're doing walk-in lunges today. Got 100 on there. I'm going to do another set on 100, and I might crank it up a little bit more and see if I can get to 120. We'll see. I've got to make sure my technique is good. I want more strength still, but I want more dynamic power and explosivity through my legs now, instead of just doing the static standing squat, heavy. I have mentioned this in previous live streams about kind of stepping away from squats, decompresses the central nervous system, and then working on something more dynamic like the walk-in lunge, getting a different style of loading going through the legs, and coming back to heavy squats, which I'll probably do in the next session, and we can see if we can get 165, 170. Fantastico. So we have made amazing progress. 100 on here. I'm going to do another set once I've recovered. Then we're going to do, which we haven't done for a long time, I think you can see it just in the background there set up. We are going to do explosive upright row from the floor, not a CrossFit, that word is banned, not a CrossFit clean, but more of an explosive power jerk right up through up onto the tiptoes, right up through the shoulders, up through the abs and the stretching. So it's similar to, that is going to complement our heavy deadlift and our Olympic lifting. So power upright row. I'm not sure how much weight I'm going to put on there. Haven't done it for a long time, but I want to focus on getting that explosivity, because over the next 2 weeks we're going to be maxing out and doing more heavy reps whilst cranking up the load. So we're going to do heavy squat, heavy explosive power, upright row from the floor. And then we're going to hopefully break a new record today on the shoulder press. Trying to get, I think we did 80 last time, 82. So try and get 82 or 85 kilos on the shoulder press today, which I think will be fantastic. I'd be really happy with that. So as with every session, as with every stream, we are hitting new records, new PRs, new season's bests, sometimes a new personal best as well. So very, very, very happy. Right, let's do another set. Wow, this gets the legs going. This is really beautiful if you're squatting a lot. It's a really nice way to bring on the legs. Let's get that dynamic strength going. Just gotta focus on the techers now. Yeah. Oh, you know what? 100 feels just nice actually. I'll try going up a little bit, as I said, because it's a nice way to hit the legs. If it's too heavy, I'm going to drop it back down to 100. But I'm feeling strong. We have had a, let me find a couple of tens. I have had the last stream was on a Saturday. So that would be a 6-day rest, which was well needed. I felt the, hold on, let me find another 10. After the last couple of sessions, I've been feeling absolutely fine in terms of my physical recovery. But on the heavy sets, let me stretch this out. On the heavy sets, particularly the squat and the deadlift, I've definitely felt my nervous system has been supercharged. And then sleeping, I mentioned that sleeping can be difficult. Destructive sleep pattern. Let me know if you guys have experienced that as well. Some of you strong guys out there. So you have to listen to how you're recovering and sleeping. So my recovery was absolutely fine. My muscles felt physically fine. Bones, ligaments, joints, tendons, all feeling fantastic. But actually feeling that constant grind on your nervous system, heavy bench, heavy squats, heavy deads, heavy multi-joint exercises. So I think that 6-day rest is going to be good. And I feel really, really sharp today. So How we feeling after the last session? That was the tire flip we did outside. And we did lighter day squats, 145, 150, 6x4, and then the tire flip was really good. So yeah, really nice way to blend in some volume, really nice volume session. See how this 120 feels. It's a new season's best. We've not done 120 on the squat before. On the lunge, I don't think we've done 120 on the lunge. We may have a few months ago, maybe around Christmas time, but it doesn't matter. This is not thinking about weight today on this. I'm thinking more about getting a different stimulation through the legs, quite simply, with a view to doing heavy squats next time in the next session. The next squat session, which will probably be sometime next week, after this weekend. So we'll do another set. Hiya, mate.
Hiya, lad.
Are you still going to be running? I was going to do some walking lunges.
Oh,
is that all right?
Yeah.
So, he's got to get going, hasn't he?
Only 4 more left, you got.
Has he? Yeah. Awesome. Right, let's get the lunges going. So yeah, feeling good. Ready for March, April time. Peaking. Do some heavy sets. See what we can get out first round. So this feels. Come on. Legs going. A bit tricky. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a new season's best. That's definitely a new season's best. 120. I think that's equal to my all-time record, actually. I think I've hit 120 before, but never gone above it. So that's definitely a season's best. I believe so. I need to check the other live streams. Yeah, that felt good. Nothing will grow your legs faster than walking lunges with a barbell. Varying and being careful of your technique. Be cognizant of that in your stepping. The pull on the hamstring from the ischial tuberosity, you will feel it on that stretch. Alternatively, if your step is not so long or broad, you'll hit the quads. So be very careful with your knees, making sure you're very tight, not overextending yourself. Because the bar will want to rotate as you're stepping through, because you're opening your legs, opening your stance. The tendency is for it to rotate, so you need good core as well. Your core stability will stop you rotating. So we're building onto more advanced techniques now from the first stream when we did this, and I told you about the technique for your feet, but this one now, you're going to ultimately need stronger abs. So we'll try to get 2 more sets. 10 reps is good. I tend not to count reps. I really want to, I mean, there's a room to count reps in some things that you're doing in the gym, of course, but I tend not to count reps. I focus on how I feel, and I focus on how stimulated I am, how stimulated the body is as well. So I knew by 10 reps doing that there, bearing in mind we did 100 for like 15 reps, it's like 7 reps each leg, let's say. This now, just doing the 10 reps at about the 10 rep point, that was where I felt optimally stimulated without going into fatigue and failure. It's with a heavy weight like this on the squat bar, it's not something I would say, nor do I want to go to failure on this, because you're going to get into trouble on one leg essentially. So it's not something I want to go to failure at, it's something I want to hit for stimulation, and that's what I've mentioned to you today about stepping away from the heavy squats. The objective of this is to get that stimulation through the legs. So I'll defeat the object by going to failure to a point where the legs are overstimulated, they're annihilated. So, but this will bring your legs on faster than anything, and you really feel it when you come back to doing squats again. You feel so refreshed and your leg just feels so much more dynamic. So let me know any tips you have when your squats are getting grueling. So a couple of sets and then we'll be on to upright row. The legs will be nice and warm for this, so we get straight into that. Lots of explosivity, lots of power, undoubtedly a real stimulator. Oh. And then on Sunday, so next live stream, I would talk about shoulder injuries. I did promise I would do that, so I pulled up a good article and we'll talk about some basics around the shoulder. Won't be a deep dive, nothing in depth in terms of some of the pathomechanics and some of the other complex injuries. It's going to be an introduction to shoulder injuries that we have done on this channel with most of the other research reviews we've done as well. So slowly building on that. So we'll be looking at shoulder injuries. You have probably suffered from a shoulder injury. So myself as a former physio, I certainly had my fair share of contact with shoulder injuries. And I still have some contact with shoulder injuries now as a doctor. You see them, they're common. So, and we're here as well because it's March as well. So it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. So if you've caught the last few live streams, we've been talking a lot about March for Men, which is, as with all cancers, it's about screening and early detection and knowing the signs and symptoms and getting people enrolled and making the general public aware of screening. There's some really good initiatives around the country. There are some particularly good ones in this area where I am called Moon Dancer. Moon Dancer, fantastic setup where one of my professors who I'm really fond of, he started this in terms of screening for bowel cancer and trying to find ways to detect it early, really, because it's a silent killer. So similar to prostate cancer. So if you're aware, you'll see everyone wearing the pin badges or wearing the March for Men logo. If you can donate to Prostate Cancer UK, please do. If not, buy the merch, because that all helps as well. It's fantastic research. It's an absolutely brilliant charity initiative. So as promised, I'll be using my airtime to raise awareness of various causes as well as a doctor. So if you can, dig deep. They've got some fantastic initiatives. And, I saw recently there's climbing, there's sailing, there's golf, cycling, running, all these different sports and meetups that people do as well for Prostate Cancer UK. The golf one was amazing. There's, blokes on the golf course prostate cancer awareness, and it's about getting the men together and kind of making sure we're a bit more aware of our health, because men are probably the worst when it comes to getting health checkups, and we kind of leave it too late, and that's a problem with prostates. Can't leave them too late. 12,000 people a year still are unfortunately dying because of late diagnosis. Let's do another set. We'll talk more about that though throughout these live streams in March. Yeah. Look what I found. They've been missing for months. Stuffed away in the cupboard. They're fantastic for doing some really good core stabilizing work. Not sit-ups, but they're actually brilliant for really balancing the lower spine and addressing any imbalances in the lower spine. But they've been tucked away in the cupboard. It's a shame. Bring it out, give it the light of day. In my warm-up today, I hit the abs really heavy. I did hanging upside down with a 15 kilo plate. 8 reps. That was the optimal number before failure, where I was really being able to give it full throttle. So that builds a really nice thick ab. Perfect warm-up for heavy lunges. Right, we're gonna do one more set. Do some explosive stuff here on this bar. And we do some shoulder press. Heavy. be good. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Obviously we've been going like 7 months now, and I always said I would just give it one season of streaming, see how it goes. I've enjoyed it. Just a personal log, personal diary, as well as to share some tips and facts of how and what to do. Whether you are new, veteran, or somewhere in between, we can always, all of us can learn something as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed streaming. We'll do some videos in the summer perhaps, but I don't think I'll be streaming the conditioning phase because it's a little bit harder. So, and I don't know whether we'll do it next year. I might stream again next year, I don't know. Strength season from September onwards, I don't know, we'll see. I might do. We will see. Might do some other stuff. See how we feel. Either way, I'll be keeping fit. Right, I think we're ready for another set. The quads are popping, I know that. Absolutely full of blood. You can as well, another tip is you can combine these. I used to combine, let's say I was doing a heavy squat. I need to look at my records whether I was combining a heavy squat day with some walking lunges around 100 kilo, or if I did it on a light day. I can't remember, it may have been on a light day, on the lighter days of squats that we do. And it really just gets a lot more volume into the legs. Kind of do that a bit earlier on in the season, mid-season. A lot of volume. Let's get the last set done, nice and steady. Another important tip for this, just before I get going, is I spent extra time warming up my groin as well, because as you're pressing through on this squat, your groin is quite vulnerable because you're pressing through on your own, and if you've got any weakness in the groin, you will feel it tweak, and you don't want that. So I spent extra time strengthening and warming, stretching that bit up. The adductor muscles and the hip internal rotators. Sorry, mate, go on. No, go, it's okay. It's safer if you go first. Oh. I think one of those reps was a bit dodgy on the left leg. So I made extra certain on the next rep. The fatigue catches up with you. Wow, believe me, that is as hard as it looks. Wow. catch my breath. Ooh. Leave some 80 kilos here. We'll come back and do the shoulder press. New season's best. I'm pretty happy with that. Right. We'll come back to this and do shoulder press. We'll get it ready. Wow, my legs are tight. No greater feeling, so we'll leave some couple of tens on there. We can do the lighter shoulder session, lighter shoulder reps with that, and then build up. Right on. Right, come and join us. Let's go on to the patch and we shall be doing some power upright row, which we've not done for a long time because we did a lot of this in the first phase, remember, to really get that base power explosivity, and I'm coming back to it now during the second phase because, as I mentioned with the heavy squats, getting that explosive power, keeping the nervous system nice and fresh because of the long, hard grind of heavy sets constantly. Right, for this, I think I'm going to put on some flat Converse, so I treat it like an explosive deadlift. We'll treat it with but the running shoes are comfy and they're really good for doing the walking lunges in because they really help you balance. Press through the toes. Ooh. Ideally, you probably should have the weightlifting shoes for this. But the flat shoes are the next best thing. Legs are warmed up. Wow, it's just there, right? In this stretch position now. That's where the hamstring is really pulling at the top near the ischial tuberosity, which is right on the base of the pelvis, kind of your sitting bone, the bony bit in your bum essentially. That's where the hamstring, big chunk of muscle, originates. And when you're doing those walking lunges, it really cuts in deep, really hits that muscle belly right at the top of the leg. Very different to doing your bodybuilding type machine flexion, knee flexion on the machines. It won't hit that big muscle belly at the top, because when you're on the machines, as you bend your knee on the machines, usually the hamstring machines, you're facing down, you're lying on your stomach. As you bend your knee, your pelvic will tilt and your lower back will compensate, so that big muscle belly of hamstring at the top of your leg will be switched off. That's why you need to do the heavy squats, lunges, deadlifts, because you've got nowhere to hide. Even if you tilt your pelvis as you're lunging through, the muscle has nowhere to hide. You can't switch it off. by tilting your pelvis. So that's where you hit that big hamstring. So it really has, there's just no substitution for it really. That's why we love walking lunges on this channel. So there's nowhere to hide. But those machines, they're good for some things, but there's too much compensation in your biomechanics, and part of your muscle belly is just going to switch off and you're just never going to hit it. You're never going to get that optimal size and shape at the top of your hamstring. Right, let's do this. This is 70 kilos. Legs are very, very warm. So we can get straight into it. Flip this mic. Stick the mic here. I think you can still hear me. Right, let's see what we got. Got some safety bars on. Ooh. Ooh, hamstrings are full. Yeah, let's do this. Drive, drive, drive. Look at my tiptoes. Right up on your tiptoes. Yeah. Good first round. Get the calves going. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, 70's nice. 70's nice because just 70 kilos, couple of 25s. I'm getting my entire body involved in this. You'll notice when you get heavier and heavier, you'll compensate. So you might not hit your shoulders as much or your legs as much. It might be going to your back or vice versa. So I always like to build up nice and slowly on this. I think on the streams when I've been hitting around 100, 110, and it's been pretty stimulating, but today I want to really get that explosiveness on a lighter weight. See what we can do. We might build up to 80, 90, see what's good. So, as you know, guys, this is, I do use this channel for teaching as well. I'm not a gymfluencer. Hate that. I'm not an influencer at all. I'm a teacher by trade. I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist. And as you know, it's not just me in the gym. Well, it is, but actually there's a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of sense anyway, what I say. But we do research reviews as well. We do look at articles, and it's open for debate as well. Some of you guys have been contacting me and joining in and suggesting things. Thank you. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is, it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. That's where this was heading. So we do use it for teaching and training and research and reviews, but we also raise awareness of good causes, and one of those is Prostate Cancer UK. So go and buy the merch, it's good. I'm training these t-shirts the last few sessions. They're really good, they're really light, they hold a sweat, they're not too heavy, they're not boxy, they're fitted, they're really nice. So if you can't donate cash to Prostate Cancer UK, buy some merch, or go to one of their charity events, walking, as I mentioned, golf, running, cycling. They've got a lot of good events, a lot of good people getting involved. I think it's 1 in 8 men in the deprived areas of the UK, further north. They say everywhere above London and north, up to Scotland. There's 1 in 8 and sometimes 1 in 6 men who are at risk of a late diagnosis, and the complications are quite severe, usually presenting quite late when they've already got some spread of prostate cancer. So if you are 40 years old-ish with a family history and you are black or black Caribbean or African American, or you have a first-degree relative, go and get checked. If you are, usually what they say is if you're about 50 and Caucasian with any risk factors, do go and get checked as well. Make an appointment with your GP. They might give you a range of tests, such as a finger test to check the prostate through the back passage. They may do a blood test, or they may refer you for some more detailed investigations, such as an ultrasound or an MRI. And they will need an expert to interpret those results. So don't panic, but it's definitely worth getting screened because there's no mandatory screening program in the UK. Unlike for bowel cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancer, lung cancer now as well. Those cancers are screened for. Cervical cancer is the one, I don't know if I mentioned that. Cervical, breast, lung, bowel, yeah. But there's nothing for the prostate. So we need to do the research on more accurate diagnostics. And when we get accurate diagnostics, we can roll it out as a screening program. And a screening program is we'll pick up more people early. Early intervention can save lives. Right, let me do another set and then I'll chat to you a little bit more about Prostate Cancer UK for March for men. Let's get some explosiveness going now. Yeah, that feels good. Well, it doesn't feel good. It feels bloody hard. But we're getting the reps that we need. Right, let's put on some bit more weight, a little bit more weight. Right. Whew. So we got to 90. Sound. Oh, really happy. In the last stream, or was it 2 streams ago now, we did the heavy bench as well. We did 132 kilos, really happy with that. So good progress all around. So we'll be maxing out in a few weeks. See what we can do. Do a few sets on this. The main thing with the explosive sets and technique really is making sure, as with everything, you make sure your form is good, because you're doing it more explosively and it's a bit lighter. It's easy to kind of, you know, lose your technique. So it's about staying absolutely focused, particularly during the explosive phase, so you're hitting the right areas. On the heavier weights, I usually drop it, you'll remember from those streams, but this one I'm holding on to it. It's just bringing in the shoulders a little bit more. Bit of pull on the shoulders, on the traps. So thanks for joining, thanks for sticking around. If you're catching this live, or of course if you're watching this a bit later, all the streams are connected. You've got a full body of work, you've got one full season of strength work. I've done a good variety of exercises, but I haven't done absolutely everything that you would see in a competition. There's always new equipment and new challenges. Variations on deadlift, variations on pressing. I don't do log press. I haven't done any log press at all. Perhaps it's something I need to improve on and get better at, or try. I've never done it, but I'm big on safety, you know. I'm big on risk-reward benefit. I'm big on that because I think if I'm going to do log press, and it's quite an awkward thing, you know, there's alternatives that you can get more from, particularly to help with the Olympic lifting. I think a lot of the strongman stuff is good, but you're quite static. There's some dynamic stuff, but a lot of it is just lifting in one plane. That's why on this channel we do the Olympic lifting as well. I'm not saying I do it very well, but the Olympic lifting that we do, it keeps you a bit more dynamic. You're not as static, and it asks a lot more of all-round flexibility and technique. So I don't think the reward for the risk and benefit of the log press is worth it. And there's lots of alternative really good upper body and shoulder exercises, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. You might love it. You might think you can't live without it. Anyway, can't live without this next set. I'll talk to you about diet in a moment. I have had some thoughts on diet as well. Let's get some explosiveness going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So my abs working super hard. That's doing the heavy abs in the warm-up. Working overtime. Let me just decompress. We'll have a chat about diet, because I've made some very small adjustments compared to last year. Oh. 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 Just working out that stiffness in those facet joints. Right, so I think you can hear me and see me. Right, okay, so diet. I feel like, compared to this time last year, I think I've put on more lean mass this season. I started the season, as you could see, because I posted the pictures a while ago. I was 93 or 94-ish kilos. But at the end of last season, I was 100 kilo. And I did loads of cardio, loads of conditioning. And I dropped about 6 kilos. and I burnt a lot of fat off. But this season now, I'm back up to about 100 kilos, maybe 101 kilos now. But I'm a lot leaner this year. I'm not carrying as much fat, so I'm really happy with this season's progress. I think I'm carrying a lot more muscle mass. And because I've been a bit more selective with some of the high calorie food choices, let's say, is that an easy way to say that, or is that pretentious? High calorie food choices. Sounds a bit pretentious, doesn't it? Sorry, don't mean to be. A bit more selective in the food I eat. Something I've learned is on some days I will need a few more calories, a bit more sugar, high energy. So what I used to do, I used to go and grab a milkshake. I won't say where from, but it was let's say a high street fast food chain, because they've got these milkshakes, and of course milkshakes got a lot of sugar, a lot of energy. And I thought, what I'm going to do this year, try and not do that, because then you're taking like a big bolus, a big slab of milky sugar, and it's massive energy. And I did need it because I was like, I'm lifting so heavy. But I've tried to do it without it this year, and I've persevered quite well, really. And I noticed the extra calories that I wasn't using is, of course, not getting stored as fat. So I've still managed to build up a really good, hiya mate, still managed to build up a really good lean mass and put on weight this year, but not, don't worry, but not put on any unnecessary extra weight. So, and I've honestly found that, yeah, only some milkshakes work for me. I found a lot of it is like so calorific dense that even if I work really, really hard, like I find a lot of it's just stored as fat. So unless you're absolutely starving yourself, I will try to get most of my, I have got all and most of my energy intake and recovery just from eating whole foods and just normal meals. No extra supplements or anything. No creatinine, no protein powders. Cod liver oil, steak, water, milk, oats, steamed vegetables, bit of cheese on my steak, but no big bolus of sugar, milkshake type, high, massively high calorific foods. My thought was that I would struggle without them because you need a constant energy, but if I've been a bit more strategic with my meals, in terms of timing and portion sizes, and then having a really, really good session on a relatively empty stomach, you can do it. Right, let's do another set. I hope that's helpful for you. If you can relate to that, let me know, because I feel like this season has probably been the best one I've ever had. Plus I've streamed it as well. Considering I had 3 weeks off in December as well, for personal reasons, and the occasional week break, which is normal. You have a normal week off. So I've done really, really well. I'm really happy with progress. But anyway, enough self-reflection. You're only as good as your next set. Good. Shoulder press time. 2 sets of 6 on 90. Or 6 or 7, was it? Maybe 7 reps. No better feeling than training really hard. Right, yeah, that is definitely working. I can feel it all across my lower back. Really asking that explosive power contraction is a very different question for the muscle to answer compared to what we usually do. Right, let me spin you around and we'll do some shoulder press. See if we can break some records today. Do you want to see me fight? I'll bring you this way. You can see my face, you're probably not missing much. Shoulder press record coming up. Oh. Let's break my all-time shoulder press record for reps. For reps. Right, let's warm up first. Here we go. Hopefully you can see me when I step back. We get the shoulders nice and warm. Really useful to do that explosive back exercise first because you can feel your lats and your erector spinae supporting you as you press overhead. We'll do another round on this, 40 kilo. Whew. Wow. Let's do another quick fire round. Build up nice and steady. What I'm focusing on there actually, that if you're used to doing this exercise, probably can appreciate it. I'm completely locking out my elbows, but I'm actually trying to get a little bit of extension in the shoulder as well. that flexibility back there, what I lack when I come to do the snatch, getting that flexibility. That's a lot of pec muscle mass, flexibility through the shoulders, open up that shoulder, get those shoulder blades, scapula right open, nice and wide. Right, let's go up. We're on 40. Should we go 60? Let's do some 60s. Yeah. Whew. This can be one of the most awkward exercises because your face and your nose and your chin and your teeth, and you're going to get your chin in and you're kind of like, it's overhead, and you need core strength and lower back strength, and you don't want to be pushing through the knees and bouncing. So go light, start with nothing. Pretty awkward. You don't want to catch your teeth or your nose or something, you know? The bar will hit your jaw. You could break your nose, knock your teeth out. So be very careful. Right, let's do 60. Getting closer to the record. Woo-hoo. Try 85 then? Yeah. It should be 82 or 85, shouldn't it? Wonder if we could get 100 out by next month. Feeling good. We'll go for 82. Do another quick round of 60, couple of reps, 2 or 3 reps. nice. Just do a couple of reps. As you're working up to the top set, you don't want to be warm, optimized. Optimized. Nice. Lovely. Conventional. Record territory. Personal record territory. Every session. New records. Right, 82.5 is on. Let's get our recovery in, as always. Oh. 2 to 3 sets, 2 to 3 reps. Keep it in line with where we are with the other major lifts and our volume and load. So, achievable. Focus. No fail. Okay, here we go. See what we can do. Focus. Hopefully the second set, stimulation again, will be better, feel smoother. But that's definitely a new stress going through my body. That was good. That's right on the edge, that's achievable. And that third rep, like there's no way I could have done a fourth rep without going to failure. So 2 more sets. We'll get 2 to 3 reps out. But we need a strict recovery now. I can feel my quads already as well from those lunges, like the legs are really on fire. What a good session. Another tremendous. Thanks for joining in. I've really enjoyed it. I've made so much progress this year. I was like, when I was starting to do this and plan it, I was like theoretically, I could definitely live stream and train because the choice of exercises and the time that it takes to recover, like it can definitely be done logistically, but you don't want it to compromise your performance. And I always prioritize like absolutely focus on good training. Like it's never about like, you know, you don't do anything to like try and, you know, just to impress for the stream, for the camera. It's like actually what are your capabilities, what are your limits, and what is going to be progressive for you and achievable. And I'm really pleased with the progress this year. It's been really, really good. It's been on par with like exactly what I would expect. And we've tried a lot of new exercises as well. And I think, because I did have that 3-week break in December, if I look at my old mathematics that I did and calculating percentages and ranges and where I was about at, the strange thing is like I think I mentioned it briefly, but in some previous seasons I've probably lifted maybe a similar amount of weight, but I was like, my body size was completely different. I was still like a medium to a large, but within the last year, 18 months, even though I've been hitting like a similar percentage rep range and so on, like my body has just gone from like medium to large to like extra large clothes now. So I put on so much more lean mass. It's just been phenomenal. It's been really, really good. It's been a lot better than I expected. I thought like the filming would get in the way, but that's why I wanted to do it live as well, because I kind of thought like I ain't got no time for like editing and you know, planning little bits and how's it going to look and how's it going to be. I was like, just film it, just do it, and you'll see all your successes and all your failures. So, but the priority has been hardcore training, making sure you're hitting those reps, hitting those new records. But there's still more to come, I think, certainly by the end of this season. Do a bit more. So yeah, so like calculating that 3-week break in December, I reckon I would have gained another maybe 5 kilos or 7.5 kilos, which let's say if we add 7.5 kilos onto some of our main lifts, so I'm there or thereabouts, but I don't mind that. Yeah, that's all right. Right, let's see if we can do the set. Nice structure. Second set. That's a good 3-minute rest, isn't it? Give me a second, that was good. Wow. Right, what you'll notice there, I'm fighting really hard to control the negative. That's what I want to do. There is so much to get from negative phases. For me, if you're slamming and banging heavy weights, you are losing a lot of potential energy there, potential strength. So I really wanted to control that negative. I didn't just want to like slam it down. That's really good. Right, one more set. I've already broke my own personal record. I'm happy with that. Like, first rep was a new record. But now let's finish the third set. All 3 reps. We'll do it in those 3x3. That's pretty good. Let's get some good recovery. Ooh. So yes, please do buy the merch. Get Prostate Cancer UK. I picked up a couple of t-shirts. If you want to donate cash, but donate in terms of buying merch. The research they do is really, really good. I've talked about it in previous live streams. I won't go over it. I haven't so much done a strict research review because I don't want to kill the vibe. There's other things that we discuss in research reviews relevant to training, but I've touched on what they research in terms of scans and diagnostic tests and raising awareness around men going to get a health checkup for the prostate. Can happen to anybody if you're assigned male at birth. So there's a form you can fill out on the website as well for Prostate Cancer UK, and it is to give you some idea of signs and symptoms and if you should go and get checked. Very helpful specialist practitioner nurses, and they've also got very good like lobbying, where I think the number now is, I know the number actually is 70% of the UK should have access to a MP MRI, which is a multi-parametric MRI, which gives us, I think they look at a few different parameters within MRI scanning that makes and helps radiologists and urologists identify areas of the prostate that's potentially cancerous, so trying to get accuracy, and that helps to get tissue biopsy samples to check what those cells look like to see if they are cancerous. So that's where the research money is going, trying to get better screening and identifiable tissue samples so we can screen men better to get them hopefully cured, or certainly early treated or monitored. Some people might just need monitoring. Just because you've had a diagnosis doesn't necessarily mean you're going to need treatment immediately. That is a conversation with your healthcare providers, of course. But I'm just doing my bit to raise awareness, and hopefully if you know somebody who's been affected by it, we've all got family members that prostate cancer can affect, so do reach out to local helplines services and donate as well. Hopefully you can stop somebody else getting a late diagnosis. You can buy the merch. Good causes. Should we do another set? Final set, no fail. Positives. Finish on a positive, come on. All 3 reps. Come on. Big squeeze. Looking good for breaking more records, aren't we there? Not even a struggle. Well, it was a struggle, but not to the struggle to the point where you're dropping reps, you know? So that's always a good sign on your first day of a new weight increase. So today was the first day of a new weight increase by doing 82.5. It's tough, but if you're not failing reps, you've really got the optimal amount of weight to really challenge you, so keep that in mind. Fantastico. Whew. Right, let's very quickly break this down. Debrief. Ooh. Right, it's debrief. Right, here we go. So, much needed, much deserved. Right, so these streams, March for Men, prostate cancer awareness, as we do on this channel. raise awareness of health causes as well. So as I mentioned, do donate. Early detection, fantastic. We spoke about why walking lunges will hit your hamstrings differently, much better than machines for the legs. Best return on investment for legs. We spoke about why we're going to do that today in terms of it complementing our squat. We did lighter, 90 kilo explosive, upright row from the floor, powerful explosive work after hitting the legs first. Fantastic with those lunges. And we broke a new record. So a new personal best on overhead shoulder press. Really happy with that. It's 82.5 kilos. So that was good. 3 by 3. That was good. Because that 80 was hard. Was it a week or 2 weeks ago? That 80 overhead press was really, really hard. That's a struggle, man. That's a lot. That's a hard weight. So it's a lot for me anyway, for a natural guy. So I think within a month we would try and get to 100 with one rep. See if we can max out on 100, like an all-time record for myself. When you get some rest, good nutrition. I also spoke about why I feel that I'm a little bit better than last year as well in terms of diet and body weight and lean mass percentage, which I need to check on the machine as well. So thanks for joining. We'll be back in 48 hours. We'll probably do some bench, some squats, something heavy, maybe something outside. We might have to do some farmer's carry. It'd be brilliant, won't it? Hit something dynamic. But yeah, all going really well. And then we're kind of coming towards the end of strength season. I've really enjoyed it, 7 months. And I've not decided yet if I'm going to do it again next year. Streaming it anyway, or I don't know, might try something different. We'll see. But thanks for joining. If you're catching this live, thank you. If you're catching us on catch up, thank you. And I hope you learned something. That's the main thing really, is about showing it can be done and showing that you don't have to go crazy, but you can make very small increments and make huge progress. Even if it takes 7 months, you can go from doing, I don't know, what did we start on, like 40 kilos overhead press. Yeah, 35 kilo overhead press. And then we've gone up to 80 kilo, 82 kilo. So it can be done. Anyway, stay strong. Thanks for joining. See you again soon. Thanks for joining Live Lifts. See you later. See you later.